Okay, welcome everybody to our June meeting this afternoon. We'll go ahead and start off with names and your organization or affiliation. My name is Kat Hayes. I am a newly certified recovery support specialist as of June 7th, and I'm with the McLean County ROSC. I will pass it on to Carrie.
Good afternoon, everyone. Carrie Knapp, Community Outreach Coordinator with Chestnut, and I help support the McLean County ROSC.
Hi, everyone. I'm Barb Brumlevy, and I'm with Chestnut Health Systems, a community health specialist, and I work on the Ford Livingston ROSC and helping out on the McLean County ROSC. Happy to be here.
You want to take it away, Alan?
I'm Alan Reed, and I'm a part-time residential tech at Chestnut.
All right, and then going across our screen, Grace, and then to Doug.
Hi, I'm Grace Irvin with the Logan Mason ROSC at Chestnut Health Systems.
I'm Doug Bernius. I'm with Heartland Community College. I'm the program assistant for the recovery support program here.
And then continuing across the way to Miss Sandra, then to Jonathan, then Sonia, Autumn, and Selena.
I am Sandra Beecher, the Business Development Coordinator for Gateway Foundation.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm with Chestnut Health Systems as a community health specialist, and I work with the Being Parents Coalition.
And is it me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Sonia Workman with the Center for Human Services. I am the Peer Services Learning Lab Program Manager. So that's in conjunction with Heartland Community and their CRSS program. And then I am also the Recovery Community Center Program Manager. Thank you.
My name is Autumn. I'm a community health specialist with Chestnut Center for Community Engagement.
Hi, I'm Selena. I am the Public Relations and Marketing Manager for Center.
I think we may have lost you, Selena. I also realize we've got two Selenas on here. So I'll hand it off to Selena Nolan, then Randy, then Cecilia, then Michelle Cope, then to Cindy, and then to Deetra.
I feel lucky I get to go first in that line. I'm Selena Nolan. I'm with the McLean County Health Department's Behavioral Health Program.
My name is Randy Derrick. I'm a prevention coordinator at Chestnut Health Systems with Being Parents, your prevention coalition for the county, and I also am the Narcan provider.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cecilia Long. I work with Prairie State Legal Services doing community engagement across our service areas, and I'm happy to be here.
And I'm Michelle Cope from the Bloomington Public Library. I do outreach and drive the bookmobile.
Hi, my name is Cindy Alcazar, and I'm with Promise Healthcare. I am their community outreach coordinator in McLean County.
Deetra, I believe you're next.
I wasn't sure if I didn't want to cut anybody off. Hi, I'm Deetra Klicky with Chestnut Health Systems. And I'm just popping in for this particular meeting, but it's really exciting to see so many people participating. So I'm kind of going to be just some listening ears on this one.
All right, and then to Patty, and we'll give Selena Papas another chance since she got cut off. Then to Sarah Vitzum, to Leanne, and then to Danny.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patty Fountain. I am a case manager with the Butterfly Project at Brightpoint, formerly Children's Home and Aid, here in Bloomington. McLean is one of the 5 counties that I serve, so I'm excited to be on this call today.
Round 2. I'm Selena Pappas. I am the Public Relations and Marketing Manager for Central Illinois Friends. good this time?
Yep, you are good.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. This is Sarah Vitstum. I'm an embedded clinician with the Normal Police Department, also finally able to join. So we'll just kind of be observing and learning and seeing how we can fit into the mix.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leanne Corson, and I'm the Region 3 ROSC mentor. I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danny Sorbis. I'm the Region 2 mentor from DuPage County ROSC. I just had some time. Figured I'd just jump in, hear what you guys are working on.
And Michelle, did you get a chance to introduce yourself?
Yes.
Okay,
I did.
just want to
Thank
make
you.
sure everybody had a chance. Okay. So we had a request from our wonderful community partner, Cecilia Long, at the reentry fair that she have about 15 or 20 minutes to do a couple of community resource spotlights. So I'm going to turn it over to her to go ahead and present on the New Leaf Illinois initiative and a follow-up update on our collaboration with Dreams Are Possible.
Awesome. I am having trouble, I think maybe with my internet. So can anyone tell me if they can actually hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
Okay. I'm going to try to share my screen for presentation, but I might stop sharing just if it gets a little wonky, but please let me know if it goes in and out. Right now, I can't see anyone's faces, so I don't know kind of what's going on right now. But yeah, I work full-time at Prairie State Legal Services, and then I work part-time some evenings of the week helping the Dreams Are Possible program. So I'm gonna share a little bit about Dreams Are Possible at the end, but I'm gonna focus mostly today on Prairie State Legal Services. I recognize some folks on this call, but there's a lot of people that I've never met before. So it's really cool seeing all of you doing amazing work. And I think that the resources we have at Prairie State might be really helpful for a lot of the clients that you're serving.
Cecilia, you muted yourself.
Okay, is it on now?
There you go.
You're good.
I don't know if you heard anything I said. Yeah, so I think that a lot of resources that we have at Prairie State is going to be really helpful for a lot of folks if you've got clients who need legal services. Kat, can you see my screen? Okay.
I muted myself. Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. All right, so our mission at Prairie State Legal Services is to ensure equal access to justice and fair treatment under the law by providing legal advice and representation, advocacy, education, and outreach that serves to protect basic human needs and enforce or uphold rights. So we've been around for a long time. Prairie State, again, like I said, offers free legal services to low-income folks and those over 60 who have serious civil legal issues. And we serve 36 counties across the state, and we have an office in Bloomington, which serves McLean, Woodford, and Livingston County. And we can help with a lot of different legal services. New Leaf Illinois is one of our programs. I'm going to share about that a little bit later. But some of our general issues that we've been able to support people through are domestic violence and orders of protection. And also when folks who are going through domestic violence issues, we can also help sometimes with divorces and housing problems. We've also helped with Medicare and Medicaid or other healthcare issues. So some folks have had issues with getting their benefits taken away. And so we've been able to help folks get those reinstated. Or if they're having just issues kind of going through the process. We've also do a lot of work with elder abuse and financial exploitation. And we have attorneys that are kind of focused in all of these different areas. So we're really grateful that we have such great people who want to dive into the law. That is not my forte. I'm not an attorney. I just engage the community on our services. And yeah, like I mentioned, we help with loss or denial of benefits. We saw a lot of cases coming out of COVID where folks had gotten unemployment checks or, other public benefits, and then were being told that they needed to repay it back. So if you've had cases like that with anyone we have been able to help kind of appeal those cases. We've been doing a lot of work with evictions since COVID hit. We have seen an uptick. Well, not just COVID, I should say the eviction moratorium lifted. We've seen a huge uptick in evictions. And so we have an eviction clinic every Wednesday at the courthouse. We're there helping folks negotiate with landlords' attorneys and just letting them know their rights and their options. We can also help with landlord lockouts and habitability issues. We have had a lot of recent cases with just like major housing code issues. And that's something that Prairie State hasn't done a lot of in the past, but we have a new attorney who's in a position that that's kind of an area that she's really focusing on. So I definitely wanted to highlight that as something that if you know folks who are living in apartments that are, or houses that are not up to code or are having some terrible issues, that's something that we might be able to help with. We help with utility disconnections or denials, Social Security, debt and collection issues. We can give some advice on that. And then we do a huge caseload of sealing and expungement. So if folks, a lot of folks that you probably work with have criminal records, may have cannabis records, we can help seal or expunge those cases. And that means taking them completely out of public view. And with the New Leaf, Illinois program, that is a program to help people who have cannabis records and to totally expunge those records, which is a step further from sealing it. So it's actually sealing it. When you seal a case, it seals it from public view, but it still can be viewed by, if you were going to apply for a job, a state job, and some other entities can view it, but for the most part, it's pretty private. An expungement is actually completely removed from your record. And that's something, again, that we can do with cannabis records now through our New Leaf, Illinois program. Our clients who we serve, like I mentioned, we help folks who are older adults, 60 up, persons with disabilities, survivors of domestic violence, and individuals with limited income. And our income requirements are kind of all over the place depending on the program. So I always just tell people to, apply, and we'll see if we can help. We have some pretty high income eligibility for a lot of our programs. So we don't have just like a standard, 80% AMI or anything. It's kind of really dependent on what the specific legal issue is. Our requirements, though, is that you must be a U.S. citizen or have a lawful permanent residence. And we do some work with the Immigration Project. We've partnered up with them as well for immigration issues. Some of our funding restrictions. So I'm not going to go over all of these, but I do want to highlight that we cannot we can't represent in criminal cases. And that's often what people are looking for, but that's just something that we're not allowed to do under the grants that we work with. And we also are not able to really help with traffic cases. And that's not just a Prairie State thing, that's kind of a countrywide thing. You can't seal traffic cases, which is a really common question we get. People want to, seal up their DUIs, and that's not something that's sealable at all. Like I mentioned with our eligibility, income eligibility, we are kind of it's really just dependent on the type of case. We don't have sliding scale fees. All of our services that we offer are completely free. We don't charge anyone for anything. The only time financial barriers come in the way is when people want to seal up a record. You have to pay for an Illinois State Police report. That usually costs around $60, but we do have some coupons that can be used for folks who can't afford that. And so again, we try to make sure that all of our services are totally free. And then there's other things financially that come in the way too, and we've been able to kind of negotiate or find other revenue sources to kind of help people with some other financial barriers. So how to get in contact with us, how to apply. You can call our office number, and we do have, I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but I've only been at Prairie State for about 1.5 years. And I, before that, just knew that it's difficult to get through the phone line with Prairie State. That's something, we have a new executive director. And so we are working on making that easier. But we have been giving out direct phone numbers as well as a way to contact. But I think, any of you are welcome to email me if you have a case, if you have someone who's looking for services, and I can get them connected to the right person. But again, like I said, the phone number is still a good number to call, but if sometimes it's just like any phone tree, you have to click the right number for the right service, because we offer so many different types of legal services. That's kind of what makes it a little bit complicated. And then I'm just going to kind of briefly go over some of our special projects. I mentioned them before, and then I'll take questions if you have anything. So our telephone counseling line, I would take this number down, and I can send it to Kat as well to send it out, but this is a really good number to have. So if you can't get in with us, or it's difficult to get in contact with us, this telephone counseling line is also with Prairie State. We have attorneys that can answer legal questions over the phone Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's kind of really like immediate advice. So if someone's dealing with something and they need something right now, they can usually get some legal information and referral information over the phone. And then it takes a little bit of time to kind of get connected with paired with one of our attorneys. But this is a really good number to give your clients and folks that you work with. Like I mentioned before, we do work a lot with domestic violence cases and orders of protection. I would say that's a huge bulk of our cases. And there is this phone line that you can use for domestic violence legal advice. We also help folks, older adults, and like I mentioned, those issues earlier. Yeah, it's definitely an area that we specialize in. And then, like I mentioned, with housing issues, we've been doing a lot of work with evictions. And then here's just some other housing resources. We have a homeowners project, and we also have a fair housing project. So if folks are being discriminated against by a landlord or multiple landlords, we've been taking those cases, and we've actually had some recent ones, and we have fair housing testers. They'll go in and view apartments, and we'll do comparisons and be able to identify a landlord that is actively discriminating against for race, sex, gender. Source of income is now also under the Human Rights Act as of January 1st this year. So that's something that landlords now are not allowed to discriminate against housing vouchers, which is very new. And we're seeing that happen a lot. So that is something our Fair Housing Project can help with as well. All right, I'm going to stop here and answer some questions, and then I will share just a little bit about the Dreams Are Possible program after your questions for Prairie State.
Cecilia, this is Michelle Cope. So each of those numbers that you gave, does it have a direct, someone that will receive that directly, or does it go through a service?
Typically the phone lines there's a little bit of a phone tree, and it's usually, specific to the type of service.
Right.
I actually haven't, that home ownership number, I haven't actually used that number before, so I don't really, that's a good question for that one. I'm not sure who or how fast that line picks up. But I think that the general phone number, if you Google Prairie State, and I can also send it, that 309-827-5021, that number is a good number to call generally for any of our services. And then that telephone counseling line, I think those are kind of the fastest ways, but also directly emailing.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. It's so weird because I can't see any of your faces. It's just like black boxes, but I know that you're there.
We're all looking at you. Job well done.
Any other questions or any questions about Prairie State?
I know you said that, sorry, it's Michelle again. I know you said that traffic violations, and you specifically mentioned DWI. Is that what were not sealable? Are there any other categories that are not sealable?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we can't seal child abuse, animal abuse, yeah, DUIs, any traffic cases. We can't do domestic batteries, but we have sealed a murder before, and we seal things with drugs. So yeah, a lot of folks, I'm continually surprised at how many people I meet are surprised that they can actually seal most of their record. It's a really excellent service. It takes a little bit of time, but it has really changed people's lives being able to seal their record, because it's not then viewable for jobs and housing. I will mention, it was kind of tied into the presentation, but we also have a new program. It's called R3, and you may have come in contact with it before. But with that program, we basically get funding through the state for cannabis sales. And so that money is being directly invested into lower income parts of our community that have been hit hardest economically, have been excessively incarcerated, and people who have been impacted quite a bit by the war on drugs. So with that program, our legal services over the last year and a half have become even more flexible. So we can do things, we can take cases and give advice on things that Prairie State typically hasn't. Like driver's license reinstatement is something that comes to mind. We've also done, we've been doing some name changing. It's kind of a really long list. So I would say, like, if you have someone who's got a legal issue and you're not sure, I think connecting with us and just finding out, because more likely than not, we'll be able to give someone some advice. And if we can't, we also have some other pro bono attorneys. Our pro bono program has kind of been blowing up the last year. So we have even more capacity to take cases that we couldn't before. So yeah, I think Prairie State is really trying to, they've been hiring a lot. We've increased our capacity attorney-wise to take more cases. And we're really trying to just be out in the community and build more of those relationships to get people free legal services. So. All right. I'm just gonna briefly mention Dreams Are Possible, the other program that I'm working with. We are a women's training center over on the west side of Bloomington. We're located on Olive Street near Sunnyside Park and the Sarah Raymond Elementary School. We help women who typically haven't been to college, but we have folks kind of coming in from all walks of life. We have no eligibility requirements. We take all ages 18 and up. We've had folks in their early 20s to their 60s, and we help them kind of think through what types of careers they're interested in exploring. We help build confidence. We do a lot of hands-on building work. So learning how to use power tools, learning how to use applied math to measure things. We just had our first daytime class graduate last week, and that was in partnership with Heartland Head Start. And so we had several women who were able to go through our program while their kids were in school at Heartland Head Start, and that was really cool. And so a lot of our folks are introduced to work in the trades. Kind of the goal of the program is to expose them to jobs that pay higher incomes and typically are male dominated. So a lot of our folks have ended up going to Heartland and doing one of those certificate programs and getting a better job. We've had a lot of folks go on to Rivian. We had one of our students, she graduated and is the first welder, female welder in a company in Denver. And so that's a smaller program. We're only open Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we do pay our women to go to school. So we have an earn to learn component. We just upped our rate now. We're paying $13 an hour for classes. And so we have our 8-week class that's kind of our essential skills, kind of a mix of different things that I mentioned. And then we're also now opening up to offer workshops to the community. We just did a home maintenance workshop a few weeks ago. Last weekend, we did a car care 101 workshop where women were able to go to Toyota Lehman and work on, learning how to take a tire off, how to check your fluids, that kind of stuff. We paid for a forklift training. So many of our women got certified in forklift training and are going to be using that for a better job. So yeah, that is a more, I would say, fluid opportunity with our workshops. We're trying to find partners to do workshops. And we've had a lot of really great, generous people providing their time and talent to offer those workshops. So yeah, does anyone have any questions about that?
It looks like Selena Pappas did.
Yes, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit when you said the name of the organization. What was it?
It's called Dreams Are Possible.
Dreams Are Possible. Okay. Thank you. And then you said it's a Bloomington-based organization. Are people from other places in the state able to come and learn if they can get themselves there? Or is it mostly to serve the Bloomington community?
Yeah, we don't really have restrictions in that way. It's kind of whoever can get to us. Our classes are always in person. We haven't had a lot of success in our virtual classes, so we've really focused on in-person learning.
Mm-hmm. And is there employment assistance after once someone completes a program, do you guys kind of help them find something? Or is it you have this certification now that can help you?
So for the folks who have been going through our 16 or 8-week classes, that's something we have helped with throughout the program, is really just kind of working on resumes, doing mock interviews, getting to a place where they can start applying to jobs. We've had a lot of folks go from 0 income to having a income, which has been a huge success for them. But yeah, we definitely do some assistance in that way, just kind of getting them. We also have a career exploration workshop we have with Heartland, and they can kind of look into learning their strengths, what type of careers might be good for them, and just kind of thinking through, how much money do you want to make, and what job is going to get you there. So yeah, we do a little bit of that. It's not a ton. We have wanted to start a mentor program, but right now we have such a small staff capacity and all of our employees work multiple jobs, including myself. So I think we do the best that we can.
Okay. One last question. if someone, we have a lot of like volunteer minded people here in Peoria. If I wanted to like refer someone to volunteer, should I have them go to your website? Like to volunteer to assist, I mean.
Yes. I wouldn't look too closely to our website because it needs to be updated, and that's something that is being worked on right now. But yes, the contact information is on there, our email and our phone number. I think texting or calling the phone number and leaving a voicemail if no one picks up, or leaving or sending an email. So email is best, I think. But yes, they can contact us that way. And we are looking for volunteers. We've had a lot of people who have volunteered with our fundraisers, and yeah, we've had volunteers anywhere from, we have one that has been helping us get our women get their driver's licenses, which is really cool. We've had folks who've never had their driver's license before, and we've had now 3 that have been able to get their driver's license just from a volunteer going out with them once a week for a few months or a few weeks until they can take the test. So yeah, volunteers are great.
Thank you very much.
And I do want to follow up with one question before we wrap up your section, Cecilia. What was the outcome of fundraising for the May Day clothes swap? How did that turn out?
Yeah, and thank you to the ROSC for partnering with us for that event in May. Well, it was actually technically at the end of April, but for May Day, yeah, we raised about $3,000 this year. So we had raised $400 the first year, and then we raised $5,000 last year, and we're really happy with, yeah, what ended up coming out. I know a lot of people are financially strained right now, but yeah, we were still able to raise a decent amount of money.
Always love to get to hear those outcomes, especially in our work where we may not necessarily always see them. So that's great to hear, and we hope to partner again maybe next year.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And thank you again for all the work y'all do, and please feel free to reach out. I'm going to drop my email in the chat as well.
All right, moving along. So for the last half of our meeting today, we wanted to share our highlights reel video we did for our open house and share how that turned out that we hosted on Thursday, June 8th, and also just share some of our metrics of what we compiled of what we've accomplished this year. Can everybody hear that?
We sure can.
Okay, cool, thank you. Oops. So Carrie and I wanted to take a little bit of time to just share, for me, what working with the McLean County ROSC has meant to me, along with some of the highlights she'll share in a bit. I just wanted to take a few moments to briefly state what working with the ROSC has meant to me over the last 2 years. I've gotten to see the McLean County ROSC provide opportunities for individuals in the community to grow in recovery and come alive to a world full of new possibilities to create a personally meaningful and fulfilling life. Through coming together as a community, an existence of pure imagination and fulfillment of the maximum recovery is possible have synergistically resulted. This has been not accomplished just by sole organizations or agencies individually, but rather in the unique community problem solving magic of compassion for one another, connection, and collaboration. Having the chance to work with and be part of such a fantastic and caring community has truly been a transformative experience. I look forward to the bright future our work and community holds for those in recovery. And I will turn that over to Carrie now to share some of those metric highlights.
Awesome. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate you sharing those kind words too. Again, as we're wrapping up this fiscal year and as we enter into FY24 come July 1st, we really just wanted to take a couple minutes today to highlight all of the wonderful work that has happened amongst our ROSC Council these past 12 months. But really just take a moment to say thank you to each and every one of you on this phone call today, and just overall your active engagement, because we wouldn't be a ROSC Council without each and every one of you. So as you can see up there, these are just a few highlights. We could really spend a whole hour talking about all the incredible work that has been taking place since our ROSC Council has come into an existence, but really just taking a look from June of 2022 to now, or July of 2022 till now, what that has specifically looked like. So for the past 12 months, there have been 11 ROSC Council meetings that were completed from July 2022 to May 2023. And all of those have focused on varying topics, really including but not limited to strategic planning, addressing our community's biggest needs, discussions on inclusive language and self-care. We've had a wide variety of local agencies and organizations come and speak about their services, similar to what Cecilia shared with us today. We've done Narcan trainings, we've discussed community outreach initiatives, and much, much more. In addition to that, there have been over 20 community outreach events and sober social activities, which have included things such as our annual ROSC Grady's Family Fun Night, which our third one will be taking place this Friday night. And then our annual National Recovery Month picnic. We've had holiday party, Tai Chi classes, bowling nights, our professional clothing drive, local educational presentations, but also resource tabling at various community events. We have had over 30 sober social subcommittee meetings, which that team, some of those folks are on this call today, and we greatly appreciate all of your support. It's through their time and energy that we've been able to put together some of these sober social events, and really just the planning and execution of those activities. There have been 24 McLean County ROSC YouTube videos, which were uploaded to our YouTube channel, which covered topics such as harm reduction, attachment styles, crafting videos, discussions on acceptance, leadership, but also recordings of not only these meetings, but other local community partner meetings. There has been a newly developed partnership with the McLean County ROSC and our local drug and recovery court. So that has included our staff putting together resource backpacks full of hygiene products, gift cards, water bottles, snacks, resource folders for folks who are leaving incarceration. In addition to that, we've also been able to help purchase supplies for the development of the drug court fishbowl program. And that's really just an incentive program to help clients really remain engaged in program protocol, but also program expectations.
And then lastly, we just want to conclude by taking a moment to highlight each of our council members. It really is because of your support and your collaboration that our council is able to carry out our mission of collaborating to build and empower communities of recovery. So overall, our council has had over 40 active community agencies and representations from various sectors, including but not limited to our local health department, local social service agencies, law enforcement, libraries, local treatment centers, recovery support groups, persons with lived experience, youth serving organizations, schools, local government. The list could really go on and on. So thank you again, each and every one of you, for your time, your support, your collaboration on this ROSC Council, and we are really looking forward to getting started in next fiscal year.
Thanks, Carrie. Sorry, I was trying to find my unmute button. It's a little bit hidden here with everything black. As Carrie was mentioning, we've got for our upcoming events, we've got our third annual Grady's Family Fun Night at Grady's this Friday at 6 p.m. If we do have some not cooperating weather, we also have a rain out date of Friday at 6 p.m. And I think we are pretty much sold out for this event. So we're excited to have brought this to the community for the third year in a row and are looking forward to sharing pictures and just follow-up outcomes of just families having a chance to have some family-friendly recovery fun. As Carrie mentioned, we've got our Recovery Month event coming up this coming September. That is going to be, our theme is Light the Night, Let Your Inner Light Shine. And the save the date for that is going to be Saturday, September 30th. And we will host that again at Anderson Park. We're opening it up to have resource tables. So if you are interested in having a resource table there, you can go ahead and email me, or we also have our QR code here, which you can scan. We can also send along the information regarding signing up for that list in our meeting notes and follow-up email later this week. If you are interested in joining the planning committee, we meet bi-weekly currently for an hour to plan out upcoming events, and especially our upcoming recovery picnic. And if you are interested in joining, go ahead and shoot me an email that's listed here, and I'll go ahead and drop my email in the chat as well. For Narcan, Chestnut is the county distributor for Narcan in McLean County. If you're interested in receiving free Narcan, you can reach out to our representative for that, Randy Derrick. If you are interested in a free Narcan training, we have the email here as well that you can reach out to for scheduling that. And then we're just going to open up the floor for any agency updates, whether it be community events, new resources, new collaborations, areas needed for support, or, you know, just general questions people might have.
I was wondering if I could speak a little bit about my organization. Is this the right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, so I work for Promise Healthcare, and we are a federally qualified health center in Champaign and Urbana, and we offer health services, dental services, and mental health services also for underserved uninsured or underinsured populations. We offer a sliding fee scale, and if somebody qualifies for marketplace enrollment, we help with that as well. So if any of your clients are interested, I can put my phone number and my email in the chat, and they can go ahead and contact me, and I could refer them to the people in our clinic that could help them. Thank you.
I feel compelled to follow that with then, Carrie, you're kind of smiling, but this is the McLean County ROSC meeting, right? So this is Detroit Chestnut Health Systems. Chestnut Health Systems is also an FQHC. Focus area is McLean County. And so we provide the same services that you mentioned and have expanded capacity with the introduction of a family medicine residency, which includes 6 family medicine residents as well as 4 faculty members who are staff of OSF, but all will be housed at the 702 West Chestnut location. So do you accept patients? I mean, if your target service area is Champaign-Urbana, and 75% of the patients you serve have to come from that target service area, how much capacity do you have to serve a McLean County resident?
That's a great question. I could ask my program director, and I don't have all of the information, but I would be more than happy to speak with you and get that information for you. Is there an email address that I can contact you at?
Sure, it's dkalicki@chestnut.org.
Okay. I'm sorry, could you spell your last name for me?
Kulicke. But the question really on the table is, we have capacity to serve McLean County residents. So I just want to put the plug out there that, you know, that from a medical home perspective, we would encourage referrals our way for McLean County residents so that there's no travel time, you know, related to medical services if possible.
Absolutely. And we're just trying to get the word out there about our services, you know, not trying to step on anyone's toes. And if, like, for instance, if sometimes I know people have a hard time scheduling appointments in McLean County, we're just another option in case, you know, we have availability.
Right. And if you connect with me, we'll connect you with our clinical programs where patients come from all over the state. And if they're going back to that home community, then making a connection, you know, we can help facilitate that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Pass that to the clinical teams.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deetra, and thank you, Cindy. Any other updates that anyone would like to share before we wrap up our time today? We hope to see many of you on Friday. I know we are booked for Friday night. We have 50 people registered, but we are taking a wait list. So if anyone would like to be put on the wait list, we're happy to reach out to you if any changes were to take place with our attendees. All righty. I don't think there's any other updates. So we hope to see many of you at our July meeting. And Kat, do you have that date right in front of you?
Yeah, I was going to pull it up in the PowerPoint real quick.
Wonderful.
Here is our contact info if you have any questions or would like to reach out to us. And then as Carrie mentioned, our next meeting is on Tuesday, July 18th, and that'll be from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And we've got here either the Zoom link or if there's the meeting code if you'd like to jot that down, and we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.